Hello students, uh, we were doing shares and dividends from Frank. In the last video I did 6 to 7 sums from Frank exercise. I have told you that out of the 30 sums in this exercise I will be doing 14-15 sums. Remaining sums are very similar to the sums in concise, same as them as concise, and the remaining sums are easy also. So I want you to do it on your own. In the last video I did question number 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 12. Today we'll do question number 16, 17, 18, 21, 24, 27 and 30. These 7 questions today. I'll try to complete these 7 questions today, and there are 2 such questions which I want you to mark it as to be done in classes. 2 questions from this exercise, 23 and 27. These 2 questions right there to be done in classes when the classes starts. Okay, don't do it for homework also. These 2 questions only. Okay, these 2 questions only to be done in classes. Otherwise, remaining all questions you have to do for homework. Okay. Let's start with question number 16. Keep the textbook in front of you or the images I have sent in the group. Question number 16. If a rupees 50 share of a company, rupees 50 share means nominal value is 50, is quoted at rupees 60. Quoted at rupees 60 means market value is 60 and the dividend declared is 9%. So D percent is 9%. Okay. Find the percentage return on investment. Find the percentage return on investment means we have to find the return percentage. Okay. So how to find the return percentage? There is one formula where there is only one formula for return percentage. I'll use that formula. D percent into NV is return percent into MV. Okay, and the values, let's substitute the values. D percent is 9 into nominal value 50, return percent is unknown, into market value is 60. Straight away substitution in the formula. 60 will get divided. Three threes are 3 twos are 15 upon 2. I am getting the answer as 15 upon 2. That is 7.5%. Seven and a half percent, 7.5% or 7.5%. Okay. The second part of this question is important. Although we have done a question similar to this in the last video, the second part they are asking us how much should be invested to get an annual income of 270. How much should be invested means we have to find the investment. We have to find the investment, and they have given us the annual income. They are saying that the annual income should be 270. So how much should be invested to get an annual income of 270? So if annual income is given, I'll use the formula for annual income. D upon 100 into number of shares into nominal value. So annual income is 270. D percent in the question is given as 9. Number of shares is not known and nominal value is 50. Solve this. number of shares is 60. Why number of shares is important? Because we have to find the investment, and investment, the formula for investment is number of shares into market value. Okay, so number of shares is 60 and market value is also 60 in this question. So the answer is 3600. Okay, copy the sum. First copy this part, then this. Next, now we'll do a few sums based on proceeds. I hope you remember we had done 3 to 4 sums of proceeds in concise textbook. Again, we'll do a few sums on proceeds. The formula for proceeds was selling price into number of shares. Okay, and what was the meaning of proceeds? That you are taking out your money from one company and investing it in another company. Okay, so in the question they will specify that the person A has sold the shares at rupees 52. So you will understand that the selling price is 52. Question number 17. Question 17 says Anaya invests 4400 rupees, means investment is 4400 in 100 rupee shares at 110. In 100 rupee shares means nominal value is 100, at 110 means they are available at 110. Okay, so this is the market value. So he bought the shares at 110. His investment was 440. Dividend was 10%. So dividend is 10% rate of dividend. She sells the shares when the price rises to 114. So it is specifically mentioned here that she sells the shares when the prices rise to 114. That means the selling price is 114. Correct? She sells the shares when the price rise to 114. Okay, she bought at 110 and now the price is risen to 114. So she wants to sell the shares. She will sell all the shares. Okay, but how many shares do she hold? Do we know that? Not yet, because we haven't found the number of shares. We can find the number of shares easily. Investment upon market value. Okay, so this is the selling price. Let's read the question further. And when the price rises to 114 and reinvests the proceeds in, now the information of the second company is given. Okay, and reinvests the proceeds in 12%, means dividend is 12%, rupees 50 shares, nominal value is 50, selling at rupees 60, means the shares are available at rupees 60. Find the change in income. Find the change in income. What does change in income means? Change in income means income 2 minus income 1. Okay, change in income. She was earning something else from the first company and now she is earning something else. So we have to find the difference. Change in income means income 2 minus income 1. Okay, first let's find the number of shares here. Number of shares is investment upon market value. So what is the investment? 4400 upon market value is 110. 40. So number of shares is 40. now we have to find income 1 and income 2, and we have to find the proceeds also. I've told you many times, the proceeds which you get will become the investment of the second company. Okay, whatever money you take from the first company will become the investment of the second company. So you can find the proceeds first, or you can find the income 1 also. I'll do the proceeds first. Proceeds, the formula for proceeds is number of shares into selling price. So how many shares she has? She has 40 shares, and she sold the shares when the price rise to 114. Okay. The amount she receives is 4,560 proceeds. That means she got this much money. Now she will invest this money in the second company. Correct? So this becomes the investment of second company is 4560. So all this is the information of the second company. Okay, now we have to find the income 1 and income 2. Okay, so income 1 from here, income 2 from here. Let's do that. I'll find the income 1 year and income 2 year. Okay, you solve the sum vertically. I'm doing it like this because I want to show you both the answers. So you solve the first income 1 answer, and then below you solve income 2. Okay, so income, formula for income is d% into number of shares into nominal value. So d% for the first company, the d% is 10%. Number of shares was 40 and nominal value was 100. 40 into 100 is 400. So income 1 is 400. Now the income 2. Again the same formula. So d% here is 12. For the second company, the dividend rate of dividend is 12. The number of shares of the second company, we have to find that. First find the number of shares. Always see, even I forgot here to find the number of shares. Always before using the income formula, you must know that do you have number of shares or not. Okay, like here we found the number of shares. It was useful here. So here also I need to find the number of shares. Number of shares is investment upon market value. Okay, so for the second company, this is the investment 4560 upon the market value is 60. So number of shares will be 76. Okay, number of shares is 76. So I'll put 76 here. Into nominal value in this case is 50. Okay. So 50 ones are 2s are 2 ones are 2, 38. 38 into 12. 38 into 12 is 456. 38 into 12 is 456. That means income 2 is 456, income 1 is 400. So change in income is I2 minus I1, that is 456 minus 400, that is rupees 56. 56 rupees is my answer. Copy the sum. First copy this part. First copy this part, then income 1, this is income 2, and then at last the change in income. Okay. The next sum number 18, is also similar. See students, I have been noticing that many of the students are not completing the videos on time. You keep all the videos, you save all the videos with you and you watch it whenever you have time. If you follow this schedule, if this is how you will study in your 10th standard, then I doubt that you will get good marks or not. Because don't wait for the test to come and only then you will start watching the videos and start practicing. During the test, before the test, that should be your second or third revision. Only then, because now I'm taking test of 1 chapter or 2 chapters, then you are scoring good marks. But once I start taking test for 5 chapters, 7 chapters, you will come to know how you are forgetting things, how you are facing difficulties in remembering the formulas. So that is why whenever a video is done, if a video is sent today, watch it today itself on that day. Then while doing the homework, that will be your second revision. And then during the test, you will practice those sums. So that will be your third revision. So this is how you have studied the same topic 3 times before giving the first test. Understood? So this should be the pattern. Many students are doing like during the test, they watch the video, they do the homework at the same time and then they appear for the test. This is not how it's going to work. You will forget things. You need some time, you need some revision time also. So make sure you watch the video whenever it is sent on regular basis. Do the homework on your own and honestly give the test. Okay, so without wasting much time, question number 18. Arnav sells 60. Sells 60 means number of shares is 60. 25 rupees shares. 25 rupees shares means nominal value is 25 of a company paying 12% per annum. Company is paying 12% per annum at 25 rupees each. So Arnav sells number of shares 60, nominal value 25 at 25 rupees. So he sells the shares at 25 at 27 rupees each. Okay, so this is the selling price. And see, you have to understand that he sells the shares at rupees 27. They have not given the market value here. Means the market value is also 27 only. Okay, because the share price at present is 27. That means the market value is 27 and he sold it at the same price, 27. Okay, because market value is important. Without market value, you cannot solve the sum. Okay. So, although in this sum you will not require market value, but this selling price will help you in finding the proceeds. Further, in the question it says, I'll repeat the question. Arnav sells 60 rupees 25 shares of a company paying 12% per annum at rupees 27. He sells 60 shares at rupees 27 and invests the proceeds in 9%, means here the dividend is 9% for the second company. He is investing the proceeds in the second company 9%, rupees 50 shares, means here the nominal value is 50, selling at rupees 45. Selling at rupees 45 means the market value is 45 for the second company. Find the change in income. Find the change in income. What is change in income? I told you. Change in income is I2 minus I1. Okay. So let's find the number of shares here is given. Let's find the proceeds first. Proceeds is selling price into number of shares. Selling price is 27. Number of shares is 60. So he sold all his shares at rupees 27. And how much money did he receive by selling those shares? That is 60 into 27. So that comes out to be 1620. This is the money he received. Now this money he invested in the second company, correct? So this proceeds, I'm repeating, will become the investment of second company. So what is the investment of second company? 1260. Okay. Now we have to find the income of the first company, income of the second company. Okay, and then subtract them. So you can even pause the video, solve it on your own. Try to solve it on your own. I am also doing it. So I have the number of shares 60. Let's find the income. Income is D%, that is 12%, into number of shares. What is the number of shares? 60 into nominal value. Nominal value is 25. I got the income 1 as 180. Now for income 2, first of all I will need number of shares. Okay. See, after finding income 1, you start from here. Here you find the income 2. Investment upon market value. Investment is 1620. Market value is 45. So when you divide this 1620 upon 45, you will get it as 36. So number of shares of second company is 36. Now for the second company, we'll find the income. Income is D% into number of shares into nominal value. D% is 9. Number of shares is 36. Nominal value is 50. $18 into 9 will give me 162. Income 2 is 162. Now see, in this sum, income 2 is less than income 1. Okay, so here you don't subtract I2 minus I1. Here you do I1 minus I2. Okay, see, I told you before also that in most of the sums I2 will be more than I1, because obviously if you get good income in second company, you will invest your money here. Okay, but sometimes it may happen that you think this company will give you good returns, but it is not giving you good returns later. It turns out that your decision is wrong. So in this case, you see, the decision went wrong because the income reduced. Okay, so this investment was better actually. But still, they are asking us change in income. So change in income means whatever the higher value minus the lower value. Okay, change in income. So how much is the change? So change in income is here I1 minus I2, whichever is greater, write it first. So 180 minus 162, that is rupees 18. So this is your answer. Copy the sum properly. First copy this part, then copy this part. Always remember to write the given data of the first company and the second company separately. Very important. Okay. and leave some space here. When after you write the given data of the second company, leave some space here so that you can write the investment which you will get after proceeds, and you can find the number of shares here. Okay, always in proceeds sum you will have to write the investment and you will have to find the number of shares of this company. Okay, so once you have the number of shares and investment, you can find the income of the second company. Okay. Next, the question number 19, the question number 20, 29, 31. These 3-4 sums are based on proceeds, but they are, you can do it easily. So I'm leaving those sums for you. These 3-4 sums, I want you to practice them. If you want, I'll even send the solution in the group. I'll do question number 21 now. In fact, question number 21 is also very easy. Still, let's do it. Again, it is same. So Annapurna sold 20 shares. See, sold 20 shares means number of shares is 20. Of face value 100. Nominal value is 100. Nominal value and face value means the same. At rupees 199. So she sold the shares at rupees 199. So this is the selling price. Giving 7% dividend. So it was giving 7% dividend. And invested the proceeds in 8%. So second company gave 8% dividend. Rupees 100 shares means nominal value was 100. Selling at rupees 85. Selling at rupees 85 means market value is 85. What is the difference in the annual income? Again, same sum. The first step is to find the proceeds. Proceeds is number of shares into selling price. So 20 into 119. I'm sorry. I don't have any cough these days. Coughing has become dangerous. Okay, so 2380. Proceeds is 2380. Now you know that proceeds will become investment of the second company. Okay, so here write the investment as 2380. Okay, once you know the investment, you can also find the number of shares. I've told you. Here you already have the number of shares. Here you have to find it. Number of shares is investment upon market value. What is the investment? 2380 and market value is 85. When you solve this, you will get the answer as 28. Number of shares as 28. Now here you find the annual income 1, annual income 2, and then subtract the income. Do one thing, pause the video and find both the annual incomes. Okay, find both the annual incomes, take the difference, and then check your answer with mine. You can forward the video and check the answer also. Okay, but solve on your own. Solve on your own. Okay. You have to write the formula also. Here I did not write the formula, but in every sum you have to write the formula, because if you do not write the formula, your marks will get deducted in exam. I'm getting these answers. So the difference, that is I2 minus I1, 224 minus 140, 84. Difference is 84. Difference between the annual income of first company and the second company is 84. Copy the sum. This is all what will come in shares and dividends. I mean, we have done all the concepts now, and these type of sums will only come in exam. Nothing. There are sums which are on the difficult side, some more different type of sums, but largely only these type of sums will come in exam. Okay, like those two sums, question number 23 and question number 28, which I made you write that to be done in classes. Those sums are on difficult side, little difficult, some twisted, but those type of sums hardly come in exams. Okay, not even in prelims. These type of sums come everywhere. The sums based on proceeds. So I hope we have done a lot of sums on proceeds. This concept must be very clear in your mind now. And don't get confused in this selling price. The selling price and this market value are mostly same. Only sometimes they will clearly mention in the question that person A is selling the shares at rupees so and so value. So you have to understand, if he is selling the shares at this value, that is the selling price. Okay. Now we are left with 3 more sums, 3 to 4 sums. So I'll do one thing, we'll do those 3 sums in next video, after which we'll complete shares and dividends. Okay, I'll stop for here today. 4 more sums I'll do, 24, 27 and 31, something like that. After that we'll complete this chapter, shares and dividends, and you will get a homework and then a test. Thank you. That's it for today.